Hello, all you beautiful people out there, and welcome to my channel. Uh, thought I'd dive. I'm up. Might as well. Um, excuse me. Um, thank you for Demon Occult cassette tapes. He or she or they upload these um, vintage um, TV shows, I guess you could say, documentaries, whatever you want to call them, um, for use in things like this. Um, I did contact them, ask them if I could use it, and they said, yeah, go ahead. This is what I do it for. So, anyway, just a little reminder for those who watch my channel on the regular and for those who might be tuning in for the first time. Um, the reason I do these, I've first started out doing these because I noticed we were going into this again, and turns out I was absolutely right. And I take no pleasure in being absolutely right about this, but here we are. Um, and, you know, for those of us who remember it the first time, it was absolutely horrible. And it's absolutely horrible again. Um, but anyway, here we are. And at any rate, uh, just call it out whenever we can. And, go from there. And anyway, so here we go. Let me go ahead and excuse me, it's quite early here. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, hey Trusty 8. So forgive me for yawning. um so let me make sure it's sharing. Here we go. Alrighty. Gee, maybe they presented it as fact because it is fact. Jesus fucking. Yeah. This is your brain on fundamentalism, people. Anyway, moving on. There we go.
And even breakfast cereals promote evolutionary concepts to eager audiences. Textbooks that develop evolutionary theories are compulsory reading for public high school, college, and university students. Evolution has become the foundation for most scientific disciplines, including paleontology, geology, biology, and astronomy. The aim of many scientists is to eliminate supernatural explanations by realistic.
That's because we cannot test any supernatural explanations. We can only test natural explanations. And if it can't be tested, it's not science. How many times do we have to tell you idiots that? But anyway, this is from 1988. 1988. And they have not changed one iota. By the way, how can Serial press evolution? I just want to know that. Like, do these people even listen to what they say? Sometimes they come up with the stupidest stuff. Anyway, moving on.
Carol Matriciana, born and raised in India, is author of Gods of the New Age and co-author of the book The Evolution Conspiracy, a quantum leap into the New Age.
While there are some scientists who believe in a creator,
Sorry, guys, I have cataracts and it's hard to see. Oh, you were born in 88. Oh, okay. I was born in 77. Okay, so believing in evolution, which is fact and theory, and believing in God are not mutually exclusive, okay? Just want to say that. Not mutually exclusive. I personally don't believe in God, and I personally don't care if you believe in God. Just don't try to shove it down my throat like people are trying to do today. Keep your fucking religion to yourself, and we won't have a problem. Okay? Okay.
many of these scientists would discount that there is any spiritual evolution going on. However, there are an increasing number, persuaded by one of today's popular worldviews known as the New Age movement, who are using the concepts of biological evolution to
I have never heard of that idea in my entire life. But who knows? Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But I I have to say these motherfuckers lie all the fucking time. So I won't be a bit surprised if that's a lie. Moving on. Hang on. I've got to.
Development, claiming that the next stage of man's evolution will be in spiritual terms, a quantum leap from biological evolution into a mystical emergence.
I think that man is evolving into a state of higher awareness of movement on the
What kind of fucking woo-woo nonsense is that? Quote-unquote spiritual evolution and biological have nothing whatsoever to do with each other. That just goes to show you how mind-numbingly silly these people are. They have no fucking clue what they're even talking about. Trusty Ape, you can, jump in whenever you like. And let me know if I'm, excuse me, off on any of these ideas. I hesitate to call them ideas. I really, really do. I don't know where they get these things from. Well, yeah, I do. They get them from their pastors. My God, no wonder America's in so much trouble right now. Anyway, moving on.
All the time. Many people believe, I believe that the purpose of life is to grow, and that you grow as much as you can in each lifetime. And of course, we believe in reincarnation.
The parallel ideas of
Reincarnation and evolution have nothing to do with each other. I don't even know where they got that from. Again, showing they have no fucking clue what they're talking about. It would blow their minds to know what biological evolution even is, because they agree with most of it, which would, again, blow their fucking minds.
religions. But during the mid-19th century, this philosophy was suddenly given scientific respectability worldwide by an Englishman, Charles Darwin, who has been known as the father of evolution. The majority opinion of the day held to the biblical account of a creator god who intentionally designed each basic form of plant and animal. Although raised a Christian, Darwin rebelled against this idea and in his theory saw a way to formulate a process without a creator.
This is the home of Charles Darwin between 18.
I don't know if that's true. I don't fucking care. I do know he went to Cambridge University and he was going to go on to get his master's in divinity. Not sure if he did or not. I know before he did that, he went on a field trip to Wales. He went to be a naturalist on a ship to the Galapagos Islands. And of course, we have all heard the story of Darwin's finches, which gave him the idea of natural selection. And then he studied it more. And anyway, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But, the fundamentalists can't acknowledge that they actually do believe in biological evolution. Don't know why. I have no clue why. But they do. It's absurd, but they do. Anyway, moving on.
1882. It's in this study that Charles Darwin produced his great works. In fact, he used to sit in this chair. It's here he wrote his famous On the Origin Theory of Evolution, which transformed the scientific world.
The theory of evolution by natural descent was in vogue long before Darwin's time. What Darwin did was provide a rational explanation of how it might have operated. So rational indeed that many people said, why didn't I think of that?
Many people felt most comfortable. As far as Darwin was concerned, he was a hero. He provided the explanation that they were seeking.
No. Again, scientists believe in God. Some scientists believe in God. Some scientists don't believe in God. I don't really fucking care. As long as it doesn't affect your scientific work, I do not fucking care. It has most biologists, I will say, will not believe in a creator God. Whether they believe in a deist, again, that's their prerogative. You know, but other scientists, even some biologists will believe in a creator. You know, like I said, I don't really care one way or another. Just don't shove your fucking beliefs down my throat, and we're A-okay. Moving on.
History. He's been called Darwin's bulldog because he took the theory of Darwin and gave a forceful presentation of it. Huxley believed that you could explain everything in nature apart from the creator by pure natural laws.
Everybody thought, not all that many years ago.
Oh, so now we're dealing in the appeal to popularity fallacy. Do I need a fallacy bingo card for this? I'm feeling like I might. Yeah. Let's send him packing. Let's send him packing in November. Get out of a fucking government. Let's send him packing. Bye-bye. We don't want you in our fucking government. Okay, moving on. That's all I'm going to say about them.
In creationism, was overthrown in the scientific community by evolutionary thinking.
For the most part, the average person, anyone at that time,
rationale and the theory of evolution, which he claimed gave validation to his in appreciation. Marx even attempted to dedicate his greatest atheistic work, Das Kapital, to Darwin.
there were communists of the day, and Karl Marx was one of these, who sought Darwin's
I absolutely hate, hey Jill, I hate this conflation of atheism with evolution. Atheism and evolution are not the same. Christians believe in evolution, and believe it or not, there are some atheists who do not believe in evolution. I don't know what their rationale is for the universe, but there are atheists who do not accept evolution, and like I said, there are some Christians, in fact the majority of Christians, who do accept evolution. Jill, I've got cataracts, so you're gonna have to be patient with me in reading out your comment. Sorry. Brain fart. All right, moving on.
as giving scientific credibility to what was previously merely a philosophy. The philosophy of socialism, the philosophy of communism, it all became scientific and credible with Darwin's theory.
Roger Oakland is a former evolutionist and biology instructor and is co-author of the book The Evolution Conspiracy, A Quantum Leap into the New Age.
When the communists took over Yuanling province of China, the entire population was forced to attend propaganda classes. First lesson was not some words of wisdom from Lenin or Stalin, but a fundamental course in Darwinian evolution.
One of my former graduate students turned to communism. He was brought to Moscow for training. What do you think they taught him? Lenin, Marx? No. For two,
Unless the universe created itself, unless man is God.
The universe did not create itself. What the fuck is that? No, the universe did not create itself. That's not even evolution, you fucking idiots. No, that is not evolution. Evolution didn't even happen until after life formed. No. No. That's not evolution. Get your fucking story straight. No. If you want to talk about the universe, talk about the Big Bang. Okay? And the universe did not create itself. We don't even know where the singularity came from. We don't know if it was. Okay, first of all, there was no before the Big Bang. Okay? Get that straight. There was no before the Big Bang because there is no time. Okay? Before the universe, there was no time. So, before the singularity started expanding, there was no time. Okay? Get that through your fucking heads. So, yeah, no. Evolution has nothing to do with the Big Bang. The Big Bang has nothing to do with evolution. You can accept one without the other. I wish these idiots would get it through their heads of what they're even arguing about. They don't even know what they're arguing against. They don't even know what they're arguing against. It's so frustrating to me. That they that people want to say something about something that they don't know anything about. It's like, seriously, why do you want to talk about something you know nothing about and make yourself look stupid? Because that's exactly, excuse me, that's exactly what you're doing when you talk about something that you have no idea about. You're just making yourself look stupid. You're making yourself look stupid. Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. All right. So forgive the echo. Alrighty. Um all right. Anybody can come in. Jill, if you want to argue, go ahead and come in. I don't fucking care. Um excuse me, Trusty Ape, you can come in too. Um I don't know whether it's just my allergies acting up or whether I'm coming down with something. But anyway, um, but yeah. Jill, you know what? You can call me a liberal because you know what? I take that as a compliment. I would rather be a liberal than a fucking MAGA. Okay? All right. So anyway, all right. So let's get moving on. Chugging along the way. This is called the evolution conspiracy. Like evolution's really a conspiracy. Come on. Whatever. Whatever. All right. Moving on.
Unless there is no creator, none of these philosophies will stand.
The people who have divined
I might get kicked off. My computer's being a little slow right now. Oh, okay, Trusty. Um, so if I get kicked off, don't worry about it. Just stay in here and I'll be back on as soon as I can. So, like I said, my computer's being slow. Don't know why. Anyway, moving on.
Concept of evolution, starting with Charles Darwin himself, and even before him, have come up with a concept that starts with a vacuum. And then there was an explosion in that vacuum called
Not an explosion. No. Oh my fucking God. No. The Big Bang was an expansion of the universe. Okay? We have no idea what the singularity was. Was it a vacuum? Right now, we think it was a point of infinite density, okay, which is why the universe is spreading out and keeps spreading out, which is, why we get the background radiation. Okay, I've been ideas about a quantum vacuum state. That could be too. It's not an explosion. Okay, an explosion is for an explosion to happen, you have to have matter and you have to have time, which was not a thing at the moment of the Big Bang. Okay? Not an explosion. Get that out of your fucking mind. I don't know where they even got this from. Okay? This is why you cannot trust these fucking creationists. They don't know what they're talking about.
the Big Bang that created the Milky Way galaxy with up to 200 billion stars, all circulating in intricate precision. The result of that explosion and gets all the way up to man without God getting into the act. That's why it is taught in all of our public schools today.
Again, no. The Big Bang is not evolution. Evolution is not the Big Bang. Darwin did not come up with the theory of the Big Bang. That was George Lemaitre, which, by the way, Lemaitre was a priest. Okay? Don't give me this shit. Don't give me this shit about religious people do not believe in the Big Bang or evolution. No, they do. Okay? So stop. Oh my fucking God. I can't even remember when Lemaitre came up with the Big Bang Theory. Anyway, it wasn't called the Big Bang when it started. But yeah, anyway, but yeah. Moving on.
without the need for a creator by purely mechanistic or natural process.
Luther Sunderland, former aerospace engineer, author of the Darwin.
Again, not evolution. That is abiogenesis, which is a separate theory altogether. Okay? Don't conflate these things. The Big Bang is different than abiogenesis. Abiogenesis is different from evolution. Okay? Jesus. And then they put the stars in there. Okay, well, we've got nucleosynthesis rolled into the Big Bang. No, these are separate concepts. Okay, the Big Bang is different from nucleosynthesis, which is different from abiogenesis, which is different from evolution. Do not conflate these things in your minds. Okay? They are different. You can accept any of them without accepting all of them. You can accept one of them without accepting the rest of them. Okay? Different. How many times do we have to tell you people they're different things?
First living cell. Now that was no minor operation because the simple
Okay. Abiogenesis would not have started with the cell. Okay? It has been proven in experiments going all the way back to the 1950s. I cannot believe I have to tell you this. Cannot believe we are still talking about this all the way back in the 1950s. They proved, scientists have proven that the building blocks can be synthesized with natural materials. Okay? Now, the Open Haldane hypothesis was, I can't remember their names right now. Anyway, they did an experiment where they put electricity through some stuff. I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, not the first cells, okay? It was way before the first cells. So, um, but yeah, I'd have to go look it up. I'm drawing a blank right now.
A single-celled organism we know anything about has in its genes and chromosomes about as much data as there are letters in the world's largest library. A trillion processes have organized that much data.
Most likely.
And exactly how do you know this? You do know that the cells of today were not the cells of 4.5 billion years ago, right? And we don't even know there were cells 4.5 billion years ago. I mean, come on. These, again, how many times do we have to tell you? You know? It's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And, I would bet, I'm not a betting person, but I would bet that these people know this. I would bet that these people know this. And they're willing to bet the firm that you don't. And they want you to be stupid so that you send them money. That's what it's all about. That's what it's always been about. Because to them, stupidity amounts to money. And that's all it is. Keep people dependent on you so they send you money. That's all it is. That's all it's about. That's all it's ever been about. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't send these people money. Moving on.
Forms are comprised of billions of these complex cells, which, once again, display themselves in perfect order. The mathematical impossibility of the human body being formed accidentally surpasses the logic.
Nobody said it was accidental. Nobody said it was accidental. I want you to show me one biology textbook, not of pandas and people, one legitimate biology textbook that says it was an accident. One legitimate biology textbook that says it was an accident. Guess what? Doesn't exist. Moving on.
Printing shop, resulting in the formation of a dictionary.
We are told that to observe and test things, and yet evolutionists accept that non-living matter somehow became life. No one saw it happen. There's no examples of it happening today, and yet they claim it.
Every single living thing is made of non-living material. Every living single thing is made of non-living material. I cannot believe they just said that. Oh, and by the way, the rocks do show that stuff was there. He's just making shit up again. Just making shit up again.
As a fact. In addition, no one has ever observed one form of life evolving into another form. But evolutionists are convinced that if you give it billions of years of time, these things can happen. You see, long periods of time become the magic factor.
Suppose someone walks into a science classroom at a university and claims that it's possible for a worm to become a man in just a few seconds of time.
We actually have. Yep. We actually have noticed cells, bacteria forming into different kinds of bacteria. Yep, we sure have. So, gotta get a different excuse. Moving on.
Out of the building. Someone else makes a claim the worm can become a man, given millions of years of time, and everyone there agrees. You see, by simply expanding the amount of time, a ridiculous idea seems credible, and that's the key to evolution.
As little as 120 years ago, the public at large generally accepted that the Earth was relatively young. One possibility indicated 6 to 10,000 years, based on biblical genealogies. Today, however, evolutionists have invented complex timetables spanning billions of years, specifically designed to allow vast amounts of time.
No one knows precisely how old the Earth is, but no
Okay, seriously. No matter how many times we say this, you won't get it because you don't want to get it. But I will say it again. Okay? No matter how many years you give it, no matter how much time you give it, a worm will not evolve into a man. Why not? Because they are in different clades. Okay? They are in different clades. A worm can't become a man because clade jumping just isn't going to happen. Okay? And you probably don't know what a clade is, but I don't fucking care because I am not going to take you back to primary school and explain to you what a fucking clade is. Go look it up. Okay? You are adults because my channel isn't for children. You're adults. You can go look it up for yourself. Go look up what a fucking clade is. Okay? Yeah. All right. Moving on.
time one gives an evolutionist, it still doesn't solve their dilemma as to how exactly life came into being in the first place.
Dr. John Morris, Associate Professor of Geology at the Institute for Creation.
Clocks by which we can estimate the age of a rock or the
Evolution does not answer how life came into being. That is abiogenesis, and there are people working on it. How many times do we have to tell you? I don't know. I've said that. How many times this let's see, almost an hour alone? Moving on. Oh, by the way, sorry, don't go to ICR for your fucking shit. Use Google Scholar, please. All right, moving on.
age of the Earth, and almost all of them seem to give young ages for all of these things. Always choose those old ones.
Presented as objective and reliable, the results of radio.
No. We have many different radiometric dating methods, okay? And they overlap each other. And we will reject a radiometric date if it is not in line with other dates we have gotten from radiometric dating. That's how it's done. We don't just use one radiometric dating method, okay? Oh, and by the way, creationists pull this shit with carbon dating, okay? First of all, you can't use carbon dating with something like the Earth because the Earth was never alive, number one. Number two, you can't use carbon dating with anything older than around Earth is older than 50,000 years, okay? So you can't use carbon dating with the date of the Earth, okay? All right. So if if they're talking about carbon dating, then yeah, we're gonna reject it for shit they pull with stuff like the Earth. So no, do not accept the shit that ICR cranks out because it's a bunch of bullshit. Moving on.
When a scientist wants to date a rock, he sends it to a lab, but that lab won't even take that rock unless he sends it in the form with it, telling them exactly how old he thinks that rock is, and that gives them a target to shoot for. And on the machine, they would keep turning those knobs and keep working on it until they got that date. Many times when we read in the textbooks about a rock that's been dated so many billion years, we just assume that the people that have gathered those dates know what they're talking about. But that's not the case. I know how.
No, the scientist is not going to say how old they think that rock is. Okay? That does not happen because that would be defeating the test. Okay? That would be bringing bias into the test. Oh my God. What happens is they have to document where they found it. Okay? And that means say they have to document, okay, we found this in a period between the Jurassic and the Cretaceous. Okay? They don't say how old they think the fucking rock is. That defeats the purpose of the fucking test. These people are
Animals produce after their own kind. But as the evolutionary perspective was given more authority, scientists were under pressure to prove Darwin's hypothesis, how life forms could possibly have changed from one form into another.
Now we are told that the way evolution proceeds is damages due to some outside influence like cosmic rays cause the cell to make mistakes. We call those mutations. And gradually one organ starfish, and then the vertebrate fishes, the amphibia, the reptiles, birds, mammals, and finally man. And here we are now, the product of billions of mistakes.
Scientists know genetic code prevents one life form from changing into another kind. And they believe this in spite of the observable evidence that no new species has ever resulted from a mutation.
Mutations are almost always harmful.
no, mutations are not almost always harmful. They are sometimes harmful. Yes, they're sometimes neutral. They're sometimes beneficial. Did you know that there is a family in Italy that is immune to heart attacks due to a mutation? Oh my God! That just throws the creationist shit bowl out the window. Yeah. Yeah, you want to tell me another lie now? Yeah, you probably do. Go ahead. I'll shoot it down. Go ahead. Moving on. Oh, by the way, creationists are now themselves saying that mutations accumulate because of the damage of the sun's rays. Look it up yourself. All right.
They can bring about small adjustments in a particular species, but no way are they able to change one kind.
But if we look at that fossil record carefully, we see that there are no one type of an animal ever changing into another. There are no transitional forms.
Fossils in the record.
Okay. Going back, there's no such thing as a kind. Okay. No such thing as a kind. Second of all, you have to define your terms. What do you mean by animal? Scientists can definitely describe what an animal is because we fucking know what an animal is, but creationists can't. Ask a creationist. They cannot tell you what an animal is because they have no fucking clue what an animal is. But scientists know what an animal is because we actually have fucking definitions. All right, moving on.
Found that there are no interspecific transitional forms, something that, of course, the creation model would have predicted and did predict long before this research was done.
We ought to see cats, and we ought to see dogs, and we ought to see cogs and dats. We ought to see them in between. We ought not be able to divide them like we are now. But that doesn't usually stop my evolutionary colleagues. They will make the statements over and over again that the fossil record is replete with these transitional forms.
There are a myriad transitional forms. There's really no problem finding transitional forms.
But it's completely false to say that there's a lacking of transitional forms. We have plenty of them, more than sometimes we can cope with.
In fact, there are so many transitional forms that we must often fall back on statistical analysis to separate.
Notice how they cut these scientists off. That's because they don't want you to know what they're actually saying. They want to tell you what these scientists are saying instead of letting the scientists speak for themselves. Why don't you look up the scientists' interviews and let the scientists speak for themselves instead of letting these fucking creationists speak for the scientists, because the creationists lie all the fucking time. All right. But yeah, notice their sneakiness. They're always going to cut these scientists off, because if they don't cut the scientists off, they're going to sink their own arguments. All right, moving on.
Found and proceeded to offer excuses for the lack of evidence.
And the problem of transitional forms is one that honest paleontologists have a problem with. The geologic record is incomplete. It's incomplete because of erosion that has eroded.
The fossil record is the rapidity with which evolution acts in very short bursts. It doesn't leave many transitional forms behind.
Yeah. And notice they're just little snippets of interviews. They're not the entire interview. Now just think about what they're not including think about what these creationists are not including. They are just making snippets of these interviews because that's what they want you to think. What are they not including? What is damaging? What is so damaging to their case? What is so damaging to their case that they cannot let you hear the whole interview? Just think about that.
To Dr. Patterson and ask him why he didn't put a single picture of an intermediate form or a connecting link in his book. Dr. Patterson, now who has 7 million fossils in his museum, said the following when he answered my letter, quote, I fully agree with your comments on the lack of direct illustration of evolutionary transitions in my book. If I knew of any, fossil or living, I certainly would have included them, unquote.
This is a quote line. If you want to know the full quote, go to Logic's channel. I'm not even fucking gonna give this any more. Logic does a great job with it, but anyway, yeah, it's a quote line. Go figure.
There is not one such fossil for which one might make a watertight argument.
Since Darwin's time, evolutionists have aggressively searched for vital fossil evidence to support the idea that life forms evolved. Even Darwin admitted that his own theory was worthless speculation without invaluable fossil proof for transitional forms. In collaboration with evolutionists, oil companies have drilled wells throughout the world, examining the Earth in excess of 5 billion fossils on Earth. Not one sample of a transitional form
Time. There was not
So I guess the lungfish, which has both lung and gills, I guess that's not a transitional form. It has a lung and it has gills. You are so fucking dishonest. Moving on.
thing that has come to be known as a missing link. In fact, it was not until almost discovered in Bavaria, I believe, it was named Archaeopteryx, that was, for all intents and purposes, intermediate between reptiles and birds. That was a triumph of his hypothesis.
Archaeopteryx, classified today by many paleontologists as a true bird, not a reptile-bird intermediary, was the first of a number of deceptive schemes promoting evolutionary ideas.
The best example of a transitional form that link with created by evolution.
Sorry about that. Like I said, I've been having trouble with my computer for a minute. But yeah, Archaeopteryx. Again, these creationists are being totally dishonest. Logic has um, an entire episode on Archaeopteryx. But tell me, what modern bird has a bony tail and teeth? Yeah, not looking too good, huh? Anyway, moving on. This is covered in Logic's episode on the Archaeopteryx. So again, yes, feathers can come from scales. It's just a difference of timing in the expression of the genes. So go to Logic's channel for a rundown. I'm not fucking going through it. Oh, yeah, because because huh. Why? Uh oh yeah, they didn't give a reason. Do you not know that the dinosaurs from which birds descended were bipeds? They didn't run on their fucking front legs, you idiots. So it didn't make a difference. Oh, and by the way, and Logic does this too. We do have birds today that have half leg and half wing. Uh, consider the juvenile Watsine. That's half wing, half leg. So, yeah. Not looking too good for you, huh? Anyway, I think that's about enough for now. I can't stand this shit anymore. Sorry. I've had my dumb quota for the day. So thank you for coming. And I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And leave some comments down below. Helps the algorithm. and I'll talk to you later. Bye.